Mark Despain didn't know it yet, but he had less than 2 minutes to live. He just walked into his own kitchen carrying a treat for his kids. Set it on the counter, turned around, 2 gunshots, back of the head. He never saw it coming. Here's what's going to keep you up tonight. The person who ordered this hit. She was standing in that kitchen hours earlier, making him breakfast, kissing him goodbye, knowing exactly what was waiting for him when he came home. And here's the part that'll make your skin crawl. This wasn't some crime of passion. This wasn't a fight that got out of hand. This was calculated, planned. A text message that morning sealed it. It has to be today. The killers weren't strangers. They were family. His wife, his father-in-law, a hitman hired for less than the cost of a used car. You think you know the people sleeping under your roof? Mark thought so too. And that's exactly what got him killed. Stay with me, because what happened in Jonesboro, Arkansas on August the 24th, 2011 will change how you see everyone around your dinner table. The warning signs were there. Mark just didn't see them until it was too late. Let me show you what he missed. Look, I need you to understand who Mark really was before I show you what happened to him. Because this guy, he was the neighbor you'd want. The friend who shows up when you need help moving. Born in 1977 in Jonesboro, Arkansas. 70,000 people. Everyone knows everyone. The kind of place where secrets don't stay buried long. But here's the thing. Mark's secret was that he didn't have any. Played football at Nettleton High. Graduated '95. Loved hunting, beach trips, scuba diving. You're a member of Central Baptist Church. The guy who lit up rooms just by walking in. Now here's where it gets complicated, and pay attention, because this is the first crack in the foundation. Mark met Michelle Kelly when they were teenagers. She was 18, already had a daughter named Brooke from another relationship. Then Michelle got pregnant with Mark's baby. Both families stepped in. The message wasn't subtle. You're getting married. Mark's 19, Michelle's 18. This wasn't love, this was obligation. A shotgun wedding. And I know what you're thinking. So what? People make it work. You're right. But here's what the psychologists will tell you. When a relationship starts under pressure instead of choice, it plants something. Call it resentment. Call it a ticking clock. Either way, it's there. But Mark? He didn't complain, didn't run, and he took Brooke in as his own daughter, completely. No distinctions, no stepchild treatment. Then came 2 more sons, Zach and Blake. He learned real estate from his parents, Jack and Tana. Built his own appraisal company from nothing. No trust fund, no inheritance, just work. Michelle got a job at the bank, then took over the family business bookkeeping. She controlled the money. Remember that. It matters later. From the outside, perfect, beautiful house, 3 kids, thriving business, church every Sunday, the family everyone envied. But you know how this works by now, don't you? The prettier the picture, the uglier what's hiding behind it. Enter Carl Kelly, Michelle's father, and here's where things start getting dark. Carl came from nothing. Working class background, barely scraping by. Then he watches his daughter marry into money, or watches Mark build this successful business. And Carl thinks, why am I working for strangers? So he worms his way in, starts managing rental properties for Mark's company, collecting rent, handling maintenance. Suddenly he's got money, influence, power. He never had before, but there's a problem. Mark treats Carl exactly like what he is, an employee. gives him tasks, expects them done, maintains the hierarchy, and Carl, he hates it. Think about this from his perspective for a second. You're the father. You're supposed to be the patriarch, the authority figure, the one people respect. But now you're taking orders from the kid who knocked up your teenage daughter. Every Carl, handle this property, chips away at him. Every Carl, did you collect that rent? Feels like a slap. Every time Mark corrects him in front of others, it festers. And this is the dynamic nobody talks about in family businesses. The hierarchy flips. The father becomes subordinate to the son-in-law, and for a man like Carl, older generation, traditional values, masculine pride, it's poison. The resentment grows, slowly, silently, like a wound that never heals but keeps getting infected. And here's what Mark didn't see. Carl wasn't just annoyed, he was keeping score. Every slight, every order, every moment he felt disrespected. He was building a case in his mind for why Mark didn't deserve what he had, why Mark didn't deserve to live. Now watch how Michelle isolates him, because that's what's happening here, and you need to see it clearly. Mark's working with his parents, Jack and Tana. They taught him the business. They're the safety net, the people who might notice if something's wrong. Michelle can't have that. Arguments start with Jack, Mark's father, about money, about control. The fights get uglier, more frequent. Then Michelle drops the nuclear bomb. She accuses Jack Despain, Mark's own father, of having inappropriate photos of Brooke on his phone. Stop. Let that sink in for a second. She accuses her father-in-law of something so vile, so career-ending, so family-destroying, that there's no coming back from it. Mark's faced with an impossible choice, wife or father. He chooses Michelle, files a police report against his own dad. The investigation happens. And here's what they find. The photos were selfies Brooke took on her grandfather's phone. Completely innocent. Nothing criminal. Nothing inappropriate. Jack is cleared. But it doesn't matter. The accusation has already done its job. The family is shattered, and Mark cuts off all contact with his father. His mother, Tana, is so devastated she temporarily leaves Jack. The two patriarchs, Jack and Carl, now hate each other with a rage that'll explode on the front lawn the day Mark dies. And here's what the investigators figured out later. This might have been the plan all along. Think about it strategically. If Michelle wants total control over Mark and the money, she needs him isolated, dependent, with no one to turn to who might see through her. So she destroys his relationship with the only people who could protect him. It's textbook manipulation. Cut off the support system. Make the victim depend on you alone. And it worked perfectly. Mark lost his parents, lost his safety net, lost the people who loved him enough to ask hard questions about where the money was really going. Now, Michelle and Carl have him exactly where they want him. Alone, vulnerable, trusting them completely. The trap is set. Mark just doesn't know it yet. While Mark's busting his back every day, Michelle's living a completely different life. And when I tell you what she was doing, you're going to feel sick. The business everyone thinks is thriving, it's drowning. Over $2 million in debt, bills piling up, collection notices, properties about to be foreclosed. Who handles the books? Michelle. Mark has no idea. Zero. He's out appraising properties, meeting clients, bringing in money, trusting his wife to manage where it goes. She's been lying to him every single day. But wait, it gets worse. Michelle's having an affair with a co-worker from the bank. Guy's barely 24, more than a decade younger than her. And she's not just sleeping with him. She's financially supporting him, completely. His rent, Michelle pays it. His groceries. Michelle. His moving expenses. Michelle. She's his sugar mama, funding his entire lifestyle while her own family's business collapses. Where's the money coming from? The $2 million in debt business? Let me spell this out for you. Every rent check she writes for her lover is money that could have saved the business. Every dinner she buys him is food she's taking from her own kid's future. Mark's working himself to death trying to keep things afloat, and Michelle's secretly bleeding the company dry to keep a younger man comfortable. That's not just cheating, that's sabotage. It shows you who she really is. Cold, calculating, completely disconnected from any sense of responsibility to her family. And it's that same coldness that's about to make murder possible. Because when you can watch your husband work himself to exhaustion while you steal from your own children to fund an affair, when you can lie to someone's face every single day without flinching, killing them is just one more lie. 1 week before the murder, Mark finally sees something's wrong. Maybe he found a bank statement. Maybe someone told him about the affair. Maybe he just felt it in his gut after all these years. He confronts Michelle, tells her he's considering divorce. And in that moment, Michelle makes a decision. Mark can't leave, not alive. Because divorce means everything falls apart. Her lifestyle gone, her access to money cut off, her affair exposed to everyone. Family, community, church. Her double life collapses. But there's something else. Something that matters to her even more. The life insurance. Mark alive and divorced? She gets nothing. Mark dead? She gets paid. According to Mark's mother, Tana, that conversation about divorce was the exact moment Michelle decided her husband had to die. She and Carl move fast. They contact Johnny Hubbard, a tenant with connections to the criminal world. Hubbard contacts Terrence Barker, street name Qualo, a man willing to kill for money. The price? Between $7,000 and $10,000. Less than a used car. That's what Mark's life is worth to these people. The plan's simple. Get Mark out of the house. Let the killer in. Stage a burglary afterward. August 24th, 2011. Michelle wakes up knowing this is the day. She sends a text to her father. 5 words. It has to be today. Carl responds. Can you get him to lunch? She can. 5 words. It has to be today. Think about what that means. Michelle woke up that morning and looked at her husband. Maybe smiled at him, maybe kissed him, maybe said, I love you. All while knowing he had hours to live. All while knowing she'd ordered his execution. The coldness required to do that is beyond most people's comprehension. But Michelle? She did it without hesitation. August 24th, 2011. Wednesday afternoon. Mark has no idea this is his last day on Earth. None. Michelle convinces him to go to lunch. Just a normal married couple. Small talk. Going through the motions. While they're sitting there, Terrence Barker's walking into their house, getting into position, waiting. After lunch, Michelle makes an excuse. Some errand she needs to run. Some task that can't wait. Mark drives home alone. On the way, he stops. Michelle buys ice cream for his kids. Think about that for a second. His last act as a free man is thinking about making his children happy, planning to surprise them with something sweet. He walks into his kitchen, sets the ice cream on the counter. 2 shots, back of the head, close range. Mark never sees the killer's face, never gets a chance to fight, to run, to call for help. Nothing. He dies on his own kitchen floor. the same kitchen where his family ate breakfast that morning. The ice cream starts melting. Mark's body is cooling. Time stopped for him. But for everyone else, it keeps moving. Michelle comes back, claims she got a call about a problem at the house, a story that'll fall apart later under questioning. She discovers the body, activates the alarm system, calls 911. But here's what she didn't count on: good detectives. And the house looks ransacked. Drawers open, stuff scattered, all the visual markers of a burglary gone wrong. But Detective Vic Brooks notices something immediately. The valuable stuff? Still there. Jewelry untouched. Electronics sitting right where they should be. Cash in plain sight. It looks like a burglary. But it doesn't feel like one. It feels performed. Staged. Like someone watched too many crime shows and tried to recreate what they thought a burglary should look like. And Michelle's behavior? Red flags everywhere. Her crying seems forced, fake, performed for an audience. Her emotions swing wildly, calm one second, hysterical the next, then calm again. Never quite authentic, never quite right. She seems more concerned with how she looks to the cops than about her dead husband lying there. Brooks knows immediately this isn't random. This is targeted, planned, and the most likely suspect is standing right in front of him, the grieving widow. Now here's where it gets insane. While police are still processing the crime scene, while Mark's body is still warm on the kitchen floor, something happens outside that tells you everything you need to know about Carl Kelly. The two patriarchs come face to face on the front lawn. Carl Kelly, who helped plan the murder, and Jack Despain, Mark's father, who hasn't spoken to his son in years because of Michelle's false accusations. Carl immediately starts screaming at Jack. Profanities, accusations. Right there in front of cops, neighbors, news cameras. Years of hatred exploding in the most public, inappropriate moment possible. Now ask yourself, what kind of innocent man does that? Your son-in-law just got murdered. Your daughter just found the body. She's supposedly in shock. A normal person would be comforting family, trying to process the horror, grieving. But Carl? He's attacking Jack, pointing fingers, trying to establish an alternative suspect before anyone can look at him. That's not grief. That's guilt. That's a man trying to control the narrative before the investigation even starts. And every cop watching that scene is taking notes. The investigation's a maze at first. Carl's screaming it was Jack. Jack's saying, "Look at Carl and Michelle." Then the streets start talking. Terrence Barker can't keep his mouth shut. He's bragging, telling people what he did, what investigators call street yapping. Word gets back to Detective Brooks. Witnesses report seeing a beat-up blue Mercedes near the house day of the murder, and they trace it to Johnny Hubbard. But here's what seals it: phone records. Police pull Michelle and Carl's texts. They'd exchanged dozens leading up to the murder. Many deleted the day of the killing. But deleted doesn't mean gone. Forensic analysts recover them, including that text. It has to be today. The chain's crystal clear now. Michelle's the mastermind. Carl's the organizer. Hubbard's the connector. Barker's the trigger man. One by one, they fall. Terrence Barker pleads guilty to first-degree murder. 35 years. Carl Kelly pleads guilty to first-degree murder. 35 years. Dies later in prison from congestive heart failure. Johnny Hubbard pleads guilty to hindering apprehension plus probation violations. Then there's Michelle. Initially, capital murder charges, death penalty on the table. But there are complications and evidentiary issues, concerns about testimony reliability. 2013. Prosecutors consult with Mark's parents. They decide not to pursue death. 2014. Michelle pleads guilty to 3 counts of hindering apprehension. Capital murder charges dropped. Her sentence? 30 years. Parole eligible after just 5. And here's the part that'll make you sick. According to reports, Michelle was paroled in September 2019. 5 years. That's what she served for orchestrating her husband's murder. The life insurance she wanted? Civil litigation. Michelle invokes the 5th, refuses to testify. Today, she's disappeared, vanished into whatever life she's built for herself now. Remember that ice cream? It melted completely while Mark bled out on his kitchen floor. His kids never got it. Zach, Blake, and Brooke. They lost their father to their own mother and grandfather. And try explaining that to a child. Jack and Tana lost their son. Never got to repair things. Never got to tell him they loved him. The false accusations made sure of that. But here's what keeps me up at night about this case. Mark didn't die from bad luck. He didn't die from being in the wrong place at wrong time. He died because he was systematically isolated from everyone who could have protected him. First, the false accusation destroyed his relationship with his parents, cut off his safety net. Then, his trust in Michelle gave her total control over finances he never knew were collapsing. Finally, when he mentioned divorce, that sealed it. That one word signed his death warrant. Every protection stripped away by the people who would kill him. And the cruelest part? Mark accepted Brooke as his own daughter, loved her completely, never treated her differently. Michelle used that same girl to destroy Mark's relationship with his parents, used her to isolate him, set him up for murder. His last thought before walking into that kitchen? Probably about his kids' faces when they saw the ice cream, about making them smile. Instead, he walked into an ambush, orchestrated by the woman he'd loved since he was 19. Michelle served 5 years. She's out there somewhere right now, living her life. And somewhere, that ice cream is still melting in my mind. Because that's what this case really is. A slow melt, trust dissolving, family bonds liquefying, a good man's life dripping away while the people he loved most watched and waited. So the next time you trust someone completely, remember Mark. The people who slept under his roof killed him. Who's sleeping under yours?